how does Red Cross travel this time now? I know you just finished your U.S. tour. I was at the Lodge Room. It was that was a spectacular
Oh,
show. I loved it.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to do a deep dive on on your set list, sort of. Just kind of curious as to how you set it up now. But how are you traveling
Well,
now
we travel. We
nowadays
have a
in the States?
fleet of buses and cargo trucks, and we each have our our own. And that's when we're not flying on private jets. Now,
Well, I think there was one time, when bands probably toured via Volkswagen bus, and then it was the Ford Econoline van. Now it's Sprinter vans.
yeah,
They're taller.
yeah, Sprinter vans with there's a rental company that kind of has cornered the market for bands, and we've been using them. But yeah, we've done it all different ways. Our first tour was in a station wagon, in a
Yeah.
1979 Ford Country Squire station wagon with a U-Haul trailer, and
And wood paneling, faux
Wood
wood paneling on
paneling.
the side. Yeah.
Gotta have that.
we've done it in every
Yeah.
different permutation you can imagine. In Europe, only on trains, and we've tried all different kinds.
Well, that was part of the fun of reading Now You're One of Us is just kind of how you guys got from point A to point B, and then you got turned down from point B, like, okay, let's go to point C, and the car's breaking down. It's the get in the van type mentality, and you guys you were all in until you weren't.
Well, that was more like get into the station wagon
Right.
when our first tour, which was set up really insanely, and shows were canceled when we arrived. We didn't know we were supposed to call and confirm them. It was just ridiculous.
Well, also because, one thing, I mean, yeah, so just since we've been doing it so long, technology has changed the way you do it so much, and that we actually date back to the pre-cell phone era, which I think is a big, in terms of practical matters, is a game changer. Because what you used to always have to do, and also pre-GPS, you would roll into the city limits, and then the first thing you'd have to do is find a payphone, and then you would have to cross your fingers that someone would answer that the phone number you were given on this piece of paper that you carry around, that often was, rather than a book of information, was a book of lies. You would then hope that someone would answer the phone on the other end. And if they did, they could give you some decent instructions that would actually be helpful, that would guide you to the venue. And that was just for starters, and so now, it's a cakewalk in comparison.
You made it right.
I mean, right. Sometimes you want to get romantic about, back in the old days, we did this, we did that. It's like, no, it was not romantic. I mean, do you guys romanticize that time at all? In a word, no.
Well, I mean, there are certain, just nothing that beyond the general stuff that we all talk about like, looking at each other in the face instead of staring at your phone all the time. I mean, sure.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I have to take that back. I do notice that even now, it's more people are just like on their phone. On the last tour, I think I had my phone and I was sitting in the back of the car. I wasn't very comfortable because I was sick. I just got over an illness, but I realized I had crossed the Rocky Mountains without ever looking at them once. Just like staring at my phone the whole time. I was like, oh crap. Okay, so sometimes we do have to take stock and kind of disconnect so we can actually have real connections at times. But besides that, it's all good.